Well, this is going to be a very interesting unboxing. I thought so. So this is the StarBlue camping rocket stove. There's the number SBGVRS01. Alright, let's open her up. Alright, here it comes, well packed. This right here is the carry case. It's very reminiscent of the material that you would use for like a shopping bag at Aldi's or someplace like that. And here is the rocket stove wrapped up in bubble wrap. Alright, so here's what the rocket stove looks like unwrapped. And in this side here, pull it out, and here's a little thing where you can fill out the information and contact them. They have a special thing where you can register it and be a part of the StarBlue family. Don't that sound fun? And inside is where all the goodies are, and that's what I'm wanting to get to. Alright, this comes taped, so let me go ahead and cut that tape off real quick. Alright, so this comes out. We got some goodies in here. Okay, so what we have here is the feet, the grate, and some thumb screws. We'll talk about these later. But let's go ahead and show this assembled. So assembly is real easy. You just put these in here, slide them in, see the little hole, mind the hole. That's going to be very important later on with thumb screws. And just put this there. Very simple. So that's the bottom of it. Now we'll insert the thumb screws. Alright, so here's the thumb screws. If you'll look, it looks like somebody took an angle grinder and cut this thing off. Very weird for a thumb screw. Just take some type of hacksaw or angle grinder and just cut it off like that. Now what we're going to do is try to get this screwed in. See if it'll screw in. Alright, it will screw in. It's amazing. And I'll talk about that in just a minute, why. So we're going to get this all tightened up, and then I'll show you the rest. With this, now we'll assemble these. You'll notice that there's some little cuts in here. I'll explain all that. Alright, I just wanted to show you the cuts in this. So you got 3 cuts in one. Then you got another. It's got 2 cuts, and then it has a slit. So this one will go over the pipe like that. Just like that. 2 slits go over the pipe. Then you got that part, and there you go. So the slits, middle slits, fit into each other and makes a nice little X. Put this over the pipe. Fit it right. Now this is your grate for you to cook on. So what you do is you stuff the wood in here, catch it on fire, and then this rockets out the heat. All in all, it's a very easy setup. There's really no instructions to how to do it. That's included. The entire instructions and instruction manual is on the box. That's all you get. Fairly simple instructions, very simple device. As far as made in China stuff is done, and you can see it is made in China. Low carbon steel, high temperature resistant paint, anti-rust. It's not bad, not a bad deal. Goes up to 800 degrees heat. So that's pretty cool. Very compact, Instructions are not in Chinglish. They're actually legible. I can't complain too much. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. This isn't my first time doing an unboxing. So what happened was, back about a month ago, more or less, my wife, my loving, beautiful wife, bought me a Christmas present. And she bought me this one. That's the reason why I knew what that case was made out of. And it's very chintzy, but the part that's chintzy is the bottom. There's no support. So what I did is I just took the box lid that came in, cut one of the little lids off of it. It fits perfectly in there. Gives it some rigidity. Fixed a problem. Zero cost. What I had a problem with was those thumb screws. So if you'll notice, these thumb screws look just like the others. Somebody took a hacksaw or angle grinder or something other and cut them. In fact, you can see the angle. They didn't just cut it evenly, they cut it sideways. And the problem is that no matter how hard you try, you cannot get these things in here. They will not go in. It just will not go into it. And I tried and I tried and I tried. So I reached out to the company the very next day, and they responded back. They wanted pictures and they wanted the order number, all that stuff. I gave them that. They wanted a video. I gave them the video, and every single thing that I did with them, I gave them my address and contact information so that they would know to send it to me. In the video, I gave them my contact information, said send the thumb screws. That's all I wanted was these thumb screws. So I've got one that I can't do anything with until I get replacement thumb screws. Took 6, 7, maybe 8 emails back and forth with this company since Christmas. So I've been fighting with these people, and they've yet to give me the thumb screws. And finally, they were not going to do anything. They wanted more information. Finally, they said, we need a shipping address. Now, remind you, I sent them my shipping address and phone number multiple times. Every single time I tried to correspond with these people, I gave them my address and my phone number for them to have. So I responded to their email with my email address and phone number again when they asked for it. And then, sorry, my wife corrected me. I said email, I meant mailing address. So I responded with my mailing address and my phone number because they said they needed it. So I just responded back to it. And they responded back and said, you didn't respond back with a message. You just gave us your name and address and phone number. And I'm like, are y'all so stupid that you can't boil an egg with an egg and boiling water and a timer set? One thing led to another. I lost my cool. I mentioned I was a content creator. Now, I probably shouldn't have done that, but I did, because I was getting nowhere fast with this company. Instead of sending me the screws, which is all I asked for, they sent me a second one of those. I never asked for a second one of those. I wanted these. The problem with companies that are based out of China, they can't easily send you these. They have to send you a whole new product in order to keep their warranty going. And so they sent me that. Now, I don't think the first person ever looked to see if the screws would work. Maybe they did. I don't know. I wasn't there. But that's one of the problems with these companies from China. You never know what you're going to get. You can see the quality of the thumb screw that I showed you before. Pretty much same quality as this. A little bit better on that one, this one. So, StarBlue, this is their company here. What do I think of them? If the screws they'd sent me for that one hadn't worked, I would have said they were the dumbest company on Amazon. Seems like I was the one off on this one. They was playing a game of odds. It's just a reminder of the times we live in, that it is the way commerce is working right now. I do look forward to using the stove. I think it's going to be wonderful. I'm going to find a set of thumb screws that work for this one, and then I'm going to give it away to somebody that needs one or wants one. I see no reason to have two, but everything about the stove itself, I love. Look at this. The grates. Absolutely wonderful. So when you're cooking that ash, where it's, that fire's coming out through that rocket part and cooking, all the ash will come down. It's got a little thing in this underneath here for airflow. So airflow goes under there, under your wood, creates that rocket action. I mean, everything about it I love. It's compact. My friend Ricky Wallace, I remember first time he ever used a rocket stove, and it was made out of concrete, and I'm like, I'll never build one of those. I'll never use one of those. It's too rough, too heavy, too hard to make. I don't want to do it. I watched God's Country Hunting and Fishing. They use a rocket stove. Too high. Don't like it. This is the Goldilocks stove. It's portable. Fairly well built except for thumb screws. And I think they'll do a very good job, especially when the wife and I go camping. The bag, everything about it is fine except for the bottom. The bottom sucks. And all you gotta do to fix that is cut off a piece of cardboard box that came in. You're good to go. I've been carrying this bag around. Doesn't try to poke through. Fairly durable. Can't complain. Now, their customer service, I can see why now they make it so hard to get a complaint filed and them to follow through. Their only recourse is to give you a new stove. They can't send you a replacement part or anything like that, which that sucks for them. Just realize that if it messes up, you're probably getting a new stove. Just document everything well, because they're going to run you through the ringer. But eventually they'll make good on their promise to honor their warranty. So with that in mind, I was going to give them a 1 out of 5 stars or 0 out of 10, whatever rating scale you want to do. But I am well satisfied with them. And because they honored their warranty and did what they said they'd do, I'm giving them 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10, whatever rating score you want to give them. I'm excited to use this stove. So that's my honest opinion of this stove. And I can't wait to show you in a future video of me cooking something on it. My wife, I'm trying to do this intro, y'all, or outro, and I'm talking about cooking. She's like, maybe a fish, and then she's like, maybe not. Alright, guys. Bye. Tell you what, that mean old woman wants to make fun of my fishing, and she says she wants me to get some store-bought fish. Well, I bought this, and it's store-bought fish. It's my version of it. I'll give her fish. There we go. That'll fix her red wagon.
Whoo! Danger, danger, danger.
Well, I fixed her red wagon. She won't be making fun of my fish no more. I'm gonna need to lay down. Baby, no! Alright, so I wasn't able to find any thumb screws for the rocket stove that matched what the Chinese people were using that made the actual thing. But what I did notice is that you can get them called M10 screws. These are galvanized screws. 1.5 by 25 millimeters. Alright, so 25 millimeters tall. And so I took a grinder and cut some off. We're going to see if it works. Not saying the best job in the world, but I took off about 3/4 of an inch. Not quite 3/4. Somewhere between 1/2 and 3/4. Well, one worked, but the other one won't go in. So a very easy fix is when the screws won't go in. Just get you some files and just lightly file it away until you get it to go in. That's what I did. Also, it's got a coating on it, so if you'll screw them in and then back them out and screw them in a few times with just a little bit of oil, what will happen is that it'll finally finish cutting out a groove in there and it'll go in very easily. So that's what I did. So if you need to make backup screws or if you need to modify screws that came with, you can do that. As I've said before, the setup on this is not only easy, it's clever. So pretty much everything set up. Air comes in through here, right there, and then you put your firewood down there, and then you see down there, that's where more air comes in to send up the rocket feature of the rocket stove. Very easy. So we're gonna get fire started. Here's a piece of drink carrier from takeout place. I don't know if it's Whataburger or Culver, someplace like that. One of their little carriers. And I've just took some cooking oil and saturated it down. And so what we're going to do now is place this in here. Just kind of put a few pieces down in there so we can catch it on fire. And then we'll fill this up with some sticks and light her up. I'm just taking a piece of paper down here that's got some oil. I'm lighting this. Getting it going. It's going now. We'll have a fire going just a second now. Okay guys, so let's just talk about this stove for a moment. Obviously I'm cooking something. This will actually be on my Cooking with Ken channel. So if you didn't know it, I have two other channels. One is painting, feather painting with Ken Johnson. That's where I do feather paintings. If you've never seen that, it's pretty neat. Check it out. I've won some awards, doing bids for government contracts, selling my paintings to government agencies. Pretty neat site. The other is Cooking with Ken, where I do cooking stuff. All the cooking stuff and painting on this channel's moved over to those two channels. And so you'll see this on Cooking Ken. This is just a very cheap wok that I got from Aldi's. Paid $16 for that thing. There's a metal tool called a chan that you're supposed to use, but the chan, every chan that I've found has been close to $50. And the wok didn't even cost me $50. So why am I paying $50 for a piece of sheet metal to scoop stuff when I got a bamboo spatula? But either way, what you'll notice with this is that it can't handle big wood.
That's what she said.
What you need to do is find something that is, I don't know, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, that you can just chop your wood up and put in there, because it's relying off of the gases. It's not like where you have a campfire and you're just, you know, letting it smolder and cook that way. It works off a different principle. So if you really want the rocket action, you need some really big or really small sticks, because in there it's got to get all the oxygen. Like that right there, this big one right here is suffocating everything. I've got some fairly big sticks in here. They're all suffocating everything and slowing this down. So it's making for a very, very slow cook. If you had 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by, I don't know, 6 inch sticks that you could just pop in there, just make you up a bundle and put them in a bucket and carry them with you when you're camping. You can put those in there. This thing, when it has small sticks in it, it just takes off and goes nuts. And so I actually was doing another video, so you'll see a video coming out soon where I'm remaking one of my earlier videos. I used this, and I was using all my small sticks for it, and it was just going nuts. But as soon as I started putting big sticks in, it slowed down to nothing. So like I said, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 6 inch should be fine for this, and you can just pop them in there. And I wouldn't overload it. It's really using the all the gases from the wood, from the combustion, to create the rocket action. So you just have to be near it very quickly, because it goes through firewood like nuts. You're dealing with a high combustion rate when you're doing that, and it's just, you're having to stoke it constantly. But this is a great rocket stove. Very affordable. I'm glad my wife got it for me. I hope you like that little spoof we did. I thought that was funny. My wife thought it was funny. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also hype this video. That helps out the channel grow. And we're trying to reach our way up to 10,000 subscribers. So any support you can provide is greatly appreciated. So I'll see y'all guys again next time. Bye.